What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of 4-4 Brew. I'm KP, and today we're going to be talking about the Swedish league, the Allsvenskan. So the Allsvenskan was founded in 1924. It originally started with 12 teams and now has 16 teams. The Allsvenskan lies at the top of the Swedish pyramid, of which there is 10 tiers. The season's a little bit of a weird one for some people. It runs from about March to November. The reason being, those are the nicer seasons for Sweden for many parts of it, and that way you're not running the risk of running into a lot of snow or ice for some games. That being said, there are teams that participate in European competition, and those will usually run post-season. So the way that the league works, you have to look at the top and the bottom, and this is not too unfamiliar for most people who understand promotion relegation. So at the top, we have a winner, obviously, but there's several winners in this case, and the system goes by medals. So the first place winner gets a gold medal. Second place gets large silver. Third place gets small silver, and fourth place gets bronze. Now, as for the bottom two teams are automatically, at the end of the season, relegated to the Tier 2, which is the Superettan. The third to last, though, will compete with the third place team in the Superettan in a playoff game. Whoever wins will go up to the Allsvenskan, or if they are the team that is already in the Allsvenskan, they will survive relegation. So essentially, it's a playoff for that spot to switch leagues. And with the Superettan, of course, the top two teams switch places with the bottom two teams of the Allsvenskan. It's also worth noting that there is a women's league, the Allsvenskan, and there is an E-league as well, the E-Allsvenskan. Now you might be asking, why does it matter what medal that these winners get? Well, that just goes towards overall records over the years. So the top 5 most successful teams are ordered, and that is thanks to not only gold, but also to large silvers. In first place, you have Malmö FF, who has 23 golds and 15 large silvers. In second place, you have IFK Göteborg, or Gothenburg, who has 13 gold and 13 large silver. In third place, you have Norrköping, who has 13 gold, but they only have 10 large silver. In fourth place, you have AIK Stockholm, who has 6 gold and 10 large silver. And you have Helsingborgs with 7 gold and 7 large silver. Now, as you can see, that's where the big difference comes in, as AIK has less gold than Helsingborg, but they have way, way more large silver. So their total medal count goes higher. It's also worth noting that all these teams help add to the success of cities overall. And it's no surprise that the 3 cities mentioned here all have teams that were mentioned. So the most successful being Malmö, which has Malmö FF. You have Gothenburg, who has 19 gold overall, who has IFK, as well as Gais and Örgryte. And then you have Stockholm, who has Hammarby, Djurgården, and AIK. Now, in addition to the Women's League, the E-League, and then the regular league and European League qualifications and competitions, you also have the Greater Svenska Cupen, which is no different than your FA Cup, your DFB Pokal. It's the nationwide cup that takes place amongst pretty much the entire pyramid. There's 96 teams who participate in this, and it's a very interesting cup to watch. Now, I know I've touched here and there a little bit on European competition, and there's 2 important things to note. One, your placement and your medals that you make is what helps you qualify. So the first team, the team who wins gold, is in European qualification for Champions League, whereas second and third have Europa League. Also worth noting, there is one Swedish team, which I happen to be wearing, has pedigree in terms of wins in the European Cups. So Gothenburg has 2 Europa League wins in 82 and 87. How does this league stack up to other leagues in the UEFA world? Well, it ranked 22nd last year. It was 1 place below the Belarusian Premier League, and it was 1 rank above the Norwegian Eliteserien. So one thing that Sweden does that many other leagues do is they have stars over badges. And I can explain why mine doesn't have that. So what Sweden does in the Allsvenskan, you get a star for every 10 league wins you have. There's only one team that has 2, and that's Malmö. The teams that have 1 are IFK, AIK, Djurgården, Norrköping, and Örgryte. This was implemented in 2006. This jersey predates 2006, so therefore there's no star on it. Now, why would I wear a Gothenburg jersey exactly? Well, I can admit that I don't have a strong tie to the team itself. I still have not ever been to a game. I've only watched so many. But Gothenburg is a place that is very near dear to my heart. It's somewhere that I've visited a couple times, and it's a place that I will continue to visit frequently. And what better way to show a little support than, well, showing a little bit of the local flavor. And I'm just really a big fan of stripes. The blue and white stripes are just so profound. I love the badge because it has the coat of arms for Gothenburg on it, which is the lion with the diagonal blue and white stripes, hence the blue and white stripes on the jersey. The one that I'm wearing actually has some, you can't see it on the camera, but it actually has subtle silhouettes of the same lion. Plus, it's pretty cool. It's nice that it has a little pedigree, but that's not what I was looking for. I was just more so looking for a team that was something I could relate to and connect with, and being that I have been to Gothenburg several times and I love Gothenburg, it was an easy tie-in for me. In another episode in the future, I will definitely talk about other teams that I follow, keep tabs on, all that kind of stuff. So look forward for that. So it'd be hard to not talk about this league and not talk about some successful players that came out of the Allsvenskan in one way or another. Have to put on number 1, of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who came from Malmö FF before he went on to Ajax and then on to conquering the world. Another legend is Henrik Larsson, who started at Helsingborg, but he would later become a legend at Celtic. A current favorite is Emil Forsberg, who got his start at Sundsvall, but then Malmö, and now he's at RB Leipzig, where he's tearing it up. Last but not least, a personal favorite of mine, Freddie Ljungberg, who started at Halmstad, but became an invincible at Arsenal. So overall, a very interesting league. It's definitely one you shouldn't sleep on. You should consider playing this the next time you pick up FIFA or PES. There's some very interesting teams at the top, and who knows, you might fall in love with some other teams that are mid-table or bottom table. But definitely keep an eye on the Allsvenskan. Last but not least, we have the beer portion of today's episode. Today, I'm drinking the Highland Brewing from Asheville, North Carolina, the Daycation IPA. Cheers. So normally, I wouldn't consider myself a big IPA fan. However, I have grown on them a little bit. I do tend to prefer stuff that's not quite as hoppy, but this is pretty delicious. And honestly, if you're someone who, like me, who's not big on stuff that is super hoppy, this is actually a good alternative for you because it's just got enough malt and enough bitterness to keep it interesting, but it's got a little smoothness to it. How does it taste flavor-wise? Well, it's a pretty basic IPA. There's no real crazy flavors that are added to it. It's just a good crisp beer that you can have on a hot day or just a chill night like tonight. It clocks in at about 4.9%, so it's not going to be super heavy, and it's something you should be able to enjoy at any point of the day or really within any activity. Thank you guys so much for listening to my first league discussion for 4-4 Brew and second beer review, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Be sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. I also plan on having these on all your favorite podcasting platforms, and I can't wait to bring you guys more leagues, more beers, and more soccer talk. Until next time, I'm KP. Peace.